So after I had identified my three different diseases or illnesses that I was going to show, it was time to do research on them. So the first thing that comes to my mind every time I'm doing research now is Wikipedia. That's always the first website I would go to, because there's a wealth of information over there and you can find pretty much everything you're looking for. So Wikipedia is a site I started with. So I first started with cirrhosis of the liver. So here's some information about cirrhosis of the liver and cirrhosis in general, and you can see that orange yellow color liver, and you can go down over here and there's a lot more signs and symptoms and a lot more reading that can be done over here. So I pretty much started reading through some of these and just seeing what are the causes of it, and as you can see over here, alcohol liver disease, also known as ALD, is one of the causes too. So, and you can see right over here also there's some jaundice side over here. So we, in a way, showing two things over here. So that's the first page I went to and I started reading over here. And I wanted to research more in terms of, because my project was extremely simple. I really didn't want to get into a lot of medical details. I just wanted to show the visualization, and the look of it was also important for me. So I went to the next website over here, the National Digestive Diseases Information Clearinghouse, and what is cirrhosis, what causes it. So there's a whole bunch of information over here, and there's a liver in the body right there, and what causes an alcohol related liver disease, as you can see, is the first one. And again, what are the complications and so on. So if you think about it, I mean, you can show so much in just one cirrhosis of the liver, I mean, with the body, because you can see what are the complications, and you can see that, and jaundice is one of them. So you can tie them together too, like I said earlier, liver cancer. So there's lots of things you can tie them together and show so many things just with one disease. The human body is complicated. After that, I wanted to get a visual look at how it looks, and bear in mind this is not going to be fun to watch, but I had to go and watch it. So here are some images, and I'm going to quickly go through them, but let's go to one which doesn't look as bad. So I went to this one, let's say, and although this was not my final one, I was deciding, but it gave me a good idea. It gave me this graphic still gave me a rough idea of, okay, this is what it does when it's cirrhosis. But then if I go back over here, there's a whole bunch of other ones like this one right here. And again, right here, this is a healthy liver and cirrhosis. A little small image, but kind of tells you what it looks like, what a healthy liver looks like, and what a cirrhosis looks like. And pretty much that's what we're going to do. That's what my idea was. And also one of the things I also did was a fatty liver. So again, right up here, there's a whole bunch of information. Then the next thing I was looking for was osteoporosis. So I went again to Wikipedia and again started reading about it. And, it's also known as porous bones, and it's a disease of bones. So my model already had a lot of bones I could show the disease with. So again, I started reading about it, signs and symptoms, and some other stuff over here. And you can see vitamin D deficiency can also cause that, like I said in one of the early videos. Then I wanted to read a little more, so I went to this website over here. And this was simply a Google search, and I went to this one, causes, incidence, and risk factors. So I read a whole bunch of things over here, and symptoms. How can you tell you have early stages of osteoporosis? So right here, and you can see right over here, it says actually there's no early stages. Symptoms are kind of late in the disease, or fractures, bone pain, so on. So I read a whole bunch of things over here. There were some nice little images over here. Let me just grab this one. And pretty much I focus on one of the spine joints, and you'll see that in the technical videos. And then I also wanted to see some more images, so I then went to a simple Google search with images, and one of them I liked was this one right here. And this is showing this bone over here, but you can see right here normal and what happens with osteoporosis. Kind of scary to watch. Anything medical is not really fun, but you'll get used to it once you start doing it, and you'll understand so much and you'll love it. I mean, once you get into medical visualization, it's trust me, you'll take care of yourselves more. So there's a whole bunch of images right here, so I went through those. And the third one was jaundice. So again, Wikipedia was the first search, so I started reading about jaundice over here. And it's again the yellowish pigmentation of skin. And I started reading about it over here, different types and pre-categories, pre-hepatic, hepatic, and post. And right over here, some other information. And then again, I went to another website to read a little more. What is jaundice? What is the cause? And what problems does jaundice cause? So I started reading more, also even to educate myself as I'm doing the animation or as I'm doing the visualization to understand. So it's very important to have a background research on it so you really know what you're targeting. That is very, very important. So that's the reason I was doing all this reading. It's not that I was going to become a doctor after reading that in one day. No. But it's just to understand anything you do, even if you do an animation for a product or anything, you got to know everything about it. What's the history, where it came from, what it's going to do, how is it important, and what, so same in medical visualization, you got to know everything. You got to know the symptoms, you got to know what causes it, you got to know what it looks like, you got to know what it's going to cause in the future to the body, and so on. And then right here, some images. And this one I really like. You can see that it's kind of a little small, but you can see that right over here, it shows me right here, this is the pale and this is the normal skin right here. And you can see clearly a distinction. So again, there's lots of different images right over here. So let's go down. And here's another one right here and there. So this is again the one with jaundice, this is the normal one. So Wikipedia, like I said again, was the first one to start with, and then I started going through some other websites, and then I started pretty much Googling some of the images, and that was it. And that's where I had all my information from, the initial research.